It's about sunrise at Kosovo Camp. We'll be having breakfast pretty soon. Everything looks white from the frost covering everything. It was a heavy dew earlier this morning when I first woke up. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And if I pan around a little bit, there's the top of Kili over there. You can see the ice cap just above my head. It is about 7:30 and I am leaving Crater Camp with Tom as my guide. And, it's a gorgeous morning. Let's see if I can show you what it looks like behind me. There's Mwenzi Peak in the distance and solid clouds below us. I should add, it is day 7 and we are going to the summit of Kilimanjaro today. I am with my guides Bruce and Tom at 18,135 feet. So 600 or 700 feet more and we'll be at Stella Point, the crater rim of Kilimanjaro. You're looking out at Mwenzi Peak and the clouds that are circling around it. It's an absolutely spectacular day. With the help of Tom and Bruce behind me, I have made it to Stella Point, 18,885 feet, day 7 of the 10th anniversary of the Kilimanjaro Clean Water Climb. Started off quite warm at Kosovo Camp. It was surprising, but it got pretty windy and chilly after about an hour or so of the hike, and it's taken us, I don't know, 6 or 7 hours to get to this point. And we're gonna head on to the summit, which is back over there. You can see the highest point in the distance. And then we're gonna go down into the crater, and there's a camp down in there, and then that bump in the horizon is where the ash pit is. Hopefully we'll get over to see that too before we head back to the crater camp. Looking back, you see Mwenzi Peak, but here now you can see proof that we are in the Arctic zone. These massive glaciers down below us are just hanging on. Every year I come up here, I see them. I can't tell the difference if they're melting or not, but some people say they are. More of Kilimanjaro's Arctic zone. It's amazing glaciers that when I first started doing this in 2011, they said would all be gone in 8 years. And yet there they still are. Massive glaciers. Say something in English, Bruce.
This looks like in Aconcagua.
Yeah.
Penitentes.
Penitentes.
Penitentes, yeah.
Yeah. Almost through them.
Look on the left. Exactly looks like that.
Yeah. Spectacular. Almost to the summit. You can see the sign up there. And after we take a few pictures, we're going to go down into the crater. By that glacier you see down there, there's a camp called Crater Camp. Take a rest, and then we're going to climb up. There's the northern ice field, by the way, which is growing, according to recent studies. Then we're going to climb up that hill right there, and then you can see the outline of the crater that we're going to walk up to and actually look down into the ash pit, they call it. More evidence that we are in the Arctic zone on Kilimanjaro with that massive glacier there. Note the striations. I don't know if you can tell. Years and years and years of growth of that glacier. Okay, with the help of Bruce and Tom, which of course I could have never done this, I have arrived at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa and the highest freestanding mountain in the world. And every day I've been praying for all your donors and the family members. There's actually 305 names on this list, and representing 139 family units. So, I mean, everything from depression to MS to jobs, finances, husband-wife relationships, tremors, you name it. There's, you know, out of those 139 people that replied to, can I pray for you, besides coronavirus. So everybody's getting prayed for coronavirus protection, but I got, at least 50 or 60 people on this list that had specific prayer requests. So every single day I've been naming you out loud to the Lord, healing from surgeries, you name it. But when I see your name, I know what I remember the prayer request, and so I add that as I go through the list of names for protection of coronavirus. But anyway, this is the 10th anniversary of the Kilimanjaro Clean Water Climb. It's in the books now. We're gonna head down to Crater Camp. I've never down there. I've never been in Crater Camp. And then there's an ash cone. You can't really see it too well, but we're gonna take a little hike over to the ash cone, which should be absolutely fascinating. It's where you can smell sulfur and see that and smell that this volcano is not completely dead. It is just dormant. This is just crazy beautiful. We've left the peak and we're headed a ways this way, and then we're gonna head down to where that glacier is. That's where Crater Camp is. There's our little Crater Camp just ahead. And then that mound right there is the ash cone. We're gonna hike up to the top of that and look inside it. And to the left is a glacier that I'm gonna walk over to later. So I can say I actually touched a real Kilimanjaro glacier. I am at Kilimanjaro's ash pit, and it's a fantastic day to see it. We're up here at the rim of it, and it is like a crater within a crater within a crater. It's fantastic. There's some steam coming up down there, which has some sulfur odor to it, so it's definitely not a dead volcano. It's a little hard to see, but there's some steam coming up, which tells scientists, geologists, volcanologists that this is indeed a dormant volcano. And I think you can smell sulfur if you get downwind of that steam. This is Kili's northern ice field. It's humongous. And a recent study that I'll have to look up says that despite the southern ice field shrinking, the northern ice field is growing. And it is indeed huge. We're not going to get close to that. That's a whole extra day right there, folks. But we are going to go back down to the crater. We just finished the ash pit, and we're going to take a look up close of a much smaller glacier. I am standing on the back side of one of 2 or 3 glaciers that are still here, present in the crater itself. And we're gonna go around the other side in a minute, and you'll see the high side of the glacier. But it's nobody remembers the name of it in my group, so I can't tell you the name of it, but it's spectacular. Just look at all that ice. That's amazing. And of course, the high point of Kili is behind me. My shadow's in this one, but you can see the incredible patterns as the sun melts from the top of the glacier.